before someone makes a sankalpa, they have to have some familiarity with what they're going to make a sankalpa about. Right? So if you want to make a lifetime sankalpa in bhakti, then that is the object of our sankalpa is Krishna. So then we become knowledgeable of Krishna, and we become somewhat attracted to Krishna and attached to Krishna. Then we can say, okay, now I know something about this Krishna Tattva, Nam Rupa Guna Lila. I understand something about the goal of Krishna consciousness, the sadhya. Now I put that in my hand and I touch my forehead. I put water. Sometimes they put water in their hand because water is the medium for some sankalpa. Put water. Sometimes you can put tulsi leaf also, water, and then you say, "Oh my Lord," and whatever life is left in my hand, whatever energy I have in my hand, whatever ability I have, whatever I have in my hand, I want to offer that at your feet, with the desire that you will accept me. That you will accept me in your eternal loving service in Braja Gokul, in Vrindavan. And this, I don't want anything else. And I'll carry on my duty, whatever duty you've given me. I have some position, I have some duty in this world, duty to family, nation, etc. I will carry on all that duty, but this is my ambition. This is my driving force. This is my main ambition in life, is to attain your eternal loving service. And so, oh really? Krishna says, really? This is your sankalpa? Well, do you know what my sankalpa is? My sankalpa is to screen out all the bogus applications. To screen all the bogus applications. Because we get so many people apply for positions in this college. 10,000 people apply, but only 300 are admitted. You must be knowing about that. Good school, how many people apply? Many thousands. So many people make an application and make their sankalpa. So then I have to test. So I have to be prepared. Whenever you set your mind, sankalpa means setting your mind to do something, basically. We're always making sankalpas. All right, I'm going to cook dinner. I'm going to cook now for my family. That's a little sankalpa. And then you go to cook, and then so many tests come up. We're out of gas. Oh, I didn't know the gas burner was empty. Oh my God, it's 8 o'clock. How am I going to get a bottle of gas now? I don't have an extra one. Oh my God. Oh, I have that electric stove. Oh, I'll plug that in. Oh, electric went. Oh my God, I can't cook. There's no electricity, and there's no gas. What to do? Oh, I go to my neighbors. Oh, can I use your stove and cook my husband's dinner? Somehow because you have to do the job. And then you do all this, and you get it all back, and then it's all ready. And he comes home and he sits down and you serve it out, and you don't even tell him that he went next door and cooked it because you had this sankalpa. I must do this. So many tests will come, but because you say, no, I have to do this, I must do this. I have to, I must, I want to. There's a degree of intensity. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I must do this. Oh, I want to do this. So when you want to do something, then that's much more intense, because that's your own will is behind it. When you have to do something, that's somebody else's will. It's forcing you. You have to do this. Clean your room. Oh, okay, I have to do this. My mother's will on me. But then, I must do this. Well, that means I feel I have some will to do it, but it's also my mother's will, because she told me to clean my room. But when it's I want to do it, that's your will. Your mother didn't even ask you. I want to do it. So this is the sankalpa is I want to love Krishna, I want to serve Krishna. And then Krishna says, all right, now I will test you how much you want to serve me, how much you want to love me. This much? This much? This much? Oh, it sounds like a good idea. I was trying art of living and art of dying, and I tried this thing and that thing. I tried Scientology, I tried S training, I tried some Hatha Yoga, and now the Hare Krishna people, they came, they preached to me, they said this is a good thing, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and offer your food to Krishna, and come to Mangalarti, and read Bhagavad Gita, you'll become peaceful. And so I tried it, it seems okay, it's nice, but okay, maybe I look and investigate a little more. And then I meet some other people, oh, it's a good thing, you go ahead, you try it, oh, okay, some association. And then I get involved with this Krishna consciousness and I find out, oh, it's very, very hard. It's very, very difficult. Very, very demanding. Rising early, chanting all these mantras and reading, so much reading, and I don't know if I can handle it. So Krishna tests. So first we have to investigate. We have to investigate the prospect. Is it worth our investment? Before we buy some stocks in some company, then we investigate the company. Is it a reputable company? Company? Does it have a good record, good products, this and that? And then we think over and inquire from many brokers, etc. And resumes, we read the resumes, and then we maybe make a decision. So that's why we do lots of reading, so we can make a firm decision. And what is this? What is this thing really all about? What is Krishna consciousness all about? Is it just about chanting Hare Krishna and taking prasadam? Is it just about going to the Sunday feast, or what is it really all about? What does it entail? Hey, can I get involved? Can I really get involved with it? So we should be a little careful before we take sankalp. Sankalp is you can say, a fruit of a realization, of some realization that we get by hearing. Hearing, then you accumulate some knowledge. When knowledge is there, then some desire. Then as you sit with that desire, it may become stronger and stronger. And then you can think whether to make sankalpa. This is what's required here. These are the demands here. This is the prospect, the highest possible prospect of the soul, highest possible attainment. And our logic and our reason tells us, our intelligence, our discrimination, our intelligence and logic tells us that this is the best prospect I've ever heard. This is the highest prospect and proposal I've ever heard in my whole life. That one can have an eternally divine, loving relationship with God and an eternal spiritual world, which is full of variety and full of fun and pastimes and enjoyment. This is a very appealing prospect. That God is a person and I'm a person. We have personal relationship and personal dealings. And there's no cheating there and no exploitation there. It's very attractive. You read Krishna book. I remember I read the Krishna book first time in 1974. And I thought, what a world this place is, Vrindavan. And because I was more attracted to this side of things. I read about Mathura and Dwarka Lila in the same book. I had seen all the big palaces and all the demons and fighting and this and that. And I didn't so much attracted to that. But when I read about Krishna's Lila, the cowherd boys, and swimming in the Yamuna, and imitating the frogs, and dancing with the gopis, and the monkeys, and stealing yogurt, and all these cute little antics, I was captivated. So this is really because I heard about heaven, I heard about some idea about the spiritual world, and I grew up as a Catholic, Roman Catholic. And there's some place called heaven, and God lives there, and good people can go there. So I should be a good people. I'm not a bad people. But I didn't know much about the particulars of the place. I didn't know, wasn't much product description there. And I didn't have any. I thought, well, I didn't really tell me anything about what do I do there. Even if I go there, it's a very vague idea of what I would do there. I'll float. I had different ideas as I grew up. Sometimes I thought, well, I'll go there and everyone gets one cloud. Everyone gets one cloud, meg, and you lie in that cloud and you just float around. You just float around in the spiritual world. And sometimes you look up and you see God and whatever He looks like, I don't know. But then you just float around and it's kind of like sleeping and feeling happy and sleeping and no cares. And that was one idea I had about heaven. Well, oftentimes people complain. They say, Maharaj, now we took up this devotional line. It seems our friends are disappearing. Because then we don't do anything. All we do, we go to their house, and then they serve us some food, and we say, oh, is this onion garlic? I say, well, yeah, of course. Rajma always has onion garlic. No, I'm sorry, I don't eat onion garlic. What? What is it? No, I mean, that's just my personal, I don't eat. What do you mean you don't eat? This is life, this is blood, this is Punjabi. And then they say, no, I'm doing some yoga now, and in this yoga we have to eat certain foods, and we can't eat these things.
Art of eating.
The art of eating. And then people say, well, then they start thinking, I guess I can't invite her over anymore for dinner because she doesn't eat our food and she's become something special now. And like this, one by one, you start to rise above the illusion and everybody that supports it. Because the environment is full of objects and people. And when the objects are disconnected from Krishna and the people are disconnected from Krishna, they are sources of illusion. And even an insentient object can be a source of illusion. It's just connected from Krishna. So people and objects, they all have connection with Krishna. They all have relationship with Krishna. But if someone chooses to go away from that relationship, then we have to eliminate them. We have to withdraw from them. This is all part of the test. Krishna is saying, you want me? All right, get ready. You're going to get some good cracks and good slaps. How much do you love me? How much do you love me? This much? This much? Oh, yeah, Krishna, I don't know, it's getting a little bit too much now. Maybe I want to love you a little less, because, I've taken away this friend and that friend, and now my parents are going against me, and
we need to balance it sometimes.
Yeah, we need to balance it by throwing everyone off one side of the scale and putting Krishna. And on the other side of the scale, you sit there. That's the balance. Everything else is imbalanced. It's really like this. If you really want to be serious, we have to employ the famous phrase, all or nothing. All or nothing, we say. All or none, maybe we say. All or nothing. So Krishna's that way. He's an autocrat. This is the meaning of being a transcendental autocrat. He's a dictator. He's really a spiritual dictator. If someone's a dictator, say, listen, this is my kingdom. Everything goes according to what I want. Oh, but what about us? Hey, out. Either your head's off or you're out of here. So Krishna is like this. He's such a dictator. He's so demanding. You have to become an absolute spiritual slave. Because actually when you analyze it, there's only two choices. Either you're a slave to your senses, or you can be a slave to Krishna. You can be Krishna's slave or a slave to your senses. Slave to the genitals, slave to the eyes, ears, nose, skin, touch. It's all slavery. The soul is a slave. The soul is a serving unit. The Atma is a unit of service. Service means slavery. No, I'm independent. I want my freedom. I want my independence. Acha. Where's the independence? No one has ever been independent. No one has ever been free. I don't want to surrender to Krishna. I want my freedom. Free to be a slave to your body. Free to be a slave to your senses. What's his freedom? Is a slave free? And free the slaves. Abe Lincoln, and free the slaves. The slave he's owned by the master, and he's controlled by the master, and he does what the master says. That's a slave, right? He's owned by the master, he's controlled by the master, and he does whatever the master says. Is it right? So the Atma, entrapped in the material body, is a slave. He does whatever the body says, he's controlled by the body, and he serves the body day and night. So we're a slave of the senses and body. And then someone says, well, why don't you be a slave? And then what do you get from that slavery? You don't get much pay. You get a happiness? Oh, a drop. And you get old age, disease, and death. That's the result of your slavery. But Krishna says, hey, come be my slave. I'm a compassionate dictator. Your body is not a compassionate dictator. Your body is a mean dictator. Krishna is also a dictator. So we can be Krishna's slave and be under his dictation, but he's compassionate. He's a sweet dictator. And the body is a sour dictator. Is it right? You have to gradually realize this. Saying is okay, but becoming enslaved by Krishna. Krishna, do you want to know what bhakti means in a nutshell? Krishna, whatever you want, that's what I want. And nothing more and nothing less. This is bhakti. It's easy to write down. Very, very easy to write down. Write it on your forehead, right on the back of your palm with it. What is bhakti?
My t-shirt was over there.
Bhakti means, what is it?
Whatever Krishna you want.
Bhakti means to fully accept and embrace the principle. Krishna, whatever you want, that's what I want. Nothing less and nothing more. But as soon as but I want, then it's mixed up. But Krishna just can I have a little? No, tone. Because he's a dictator. The slave says, "Oh master, can I have just one day off?" No. This is frightening proposal. But the thing is that the slavery of Krishna, becoming Krishna's slave, is so frightening. But at the same time, we're completely entrenched in the slavery of our body and mind and senses, 24 hours a day. Now sleep, now eat, now do this, now fight, now defend, now argue, now do this. Oh, you're blah, blah, blah. It's God, we're just slaving. The soul is just being whipped. The soul is being whipped, literally whipped by the senses. The senses are whipping us. Think like this, act like this, speak like this. Oh, she said this. Well, I'll do that. You do this to me, I'll do that to you. You cut me, I'll cut you. This, that, other thing. And there's no sweetness. It's always pinching. But Krishna's slavery is poison in the beginning and nectar in the end. Krishna's telling the Gita. When one comes in the path of yoga, especially bhakti yoga, it's poison in the beginning, nectar in the end. Ashlishyava paratam panashtamam adarshanam mamatam korotuva yata tata va vidadantu lampato mat prananatas sa eva naparaha. Oh, Gopinath, oh, Vrindavan Nath, I don't know anyone else. You are my Lord. You're the Lord of my pran. Mat prananatas, not mat prananath. You're my prananath. Tusa eva naparaha. Aparaha, naparaha. Aparayam. There's nobody else. And as I move closer to you, as I get to know you, I find out that you are actually very, very sweet and compassionate dictator. One of the best. One of the best dictators I've ever met. Because you're not an autocrat, you're a transcendental autocrat. And that's the difference between you and every other dictator in this world, including my body and senses. So we have to become attracted to Krishna. And that attraction will come by hearing about him, hearing about his Nam, Rupa, and Lila, chanting his name, hearing about him, hearing about his Mahima and glories. As we become more and more attracted, then we become more and more attached. Attachment grows by association. The more you associate with someone, the more you become attached. When you first got married, you weren't that attached to your husband. But now it's impossible to get detached. You're cemented together like araldite. You're stuck on each other. At least, hopefully. So Krishna is like that. You have to. That's like guru or anything. The more you associate with someone, if there's some attraction, which means liking, it's called rag and dvesh. If there's some rag, some attraction, some liking, and you continue to associate with that object of liking or rag, then you becomes rati, becomes asakti, becomes attachment. So if you like the guru, you have some rag for the guru, and then you associate more and more, then you become attached. Right? And that's the same. But as guru, you can see and interact, and it seems more tangible. So the guru takes the principle of attraction and attachment, and he dovetails it. He folds the dovetailing and folds it up. He takes the principle of attraction and attachment, and he redirects the principle of material attraction and material attachment. He directs it. First, you become attracted and attached to Guru, then he deflects that and brings your attraction and attachment to Krishna. Because he's transparent. He's a transparent medium. So because Krishna comes as Guru, to what? To attract you by the sound vibration. Not the physical attraction. Gurus may be ugly or fat, thin, tall, anything. But by sound vibration, he attracts the consciousness. He attracts the heart. And then you serve his vapu, the Guru's vapu, and you serve his words, that increase, and that means you're associating. When you associate with the Guru's words and the Guru's body, then you develop your attachment. And then that attachment goes to Krishna, because attraction to Guru and attachment to Guru they actually transform into attraction and attachment to Krishna. They're actually not different. If the Guru is Guru. If he's transparent, if he collects the attraction and attachment and keeps it for himself, or he gloats over it, or he relishes it, or he enjoys it, the audience or the popularity, then he becomes a block. Then he doesn't help anyone. No one gets helped. And by associating with such a guru, one's attraction and attachment for Krishna does not develop, does not arise, does not increase. This is a very appealing prospect. That God is a person and I'm a person. We have personal relationship and personal dealings. And there's no cheating there and no exploitation there. It's very attractive. You read Krishna book. I remember I read the Krishna book first time in 1974. And I thought, what a world this place is, Vrindavan. And because I was more attracted to this side of things. I read about Mathura and Dwarka Lila in the same book. I had seen all the big palaces and all the demons and fighting and this and that. And I didn't so much attracted to that. But when I read about Krishna's Lila, the cowherd boys, and swimming in the Yamuna, and imitating the frogs, and dancing with the gopis, and the monkeys, and stealing yogurt, and all these cute little antics, I was captivated. So this is really because I heard about heaven, I heard about some idea about the spiritual world, and I grew up as a Catholic, Roman Catholic. And there's some place called heaven, and God lives there, and good people can go there. So I should be a good people. I'm not a bad people. But I didn't know much about the particulars of the place. I didn't know, wasn't much product description there. And I didn't have any, I thought, it didn't really tell me anything about what do I do there? Even if I go there, it's a very vague idea of what I would do there. I would float around. I had different ideas as I grew up. Sometimes I thought, I'll go there and everyone gets one cloud. Everyone gets one cloud, and you lie in that cloud, and you just float around. You just float around in the spiritual world. And sometimes you look up and you see God, and whatever He looks like, I don't know. But then you just float around, and it's kind of like sleeping and feeling happy and sleeping and no cares. And that was one idea I had about heaven. Another idea I thought is that when if you go to heaven, then they give you one harp. Harp is like what do you call it? Like a veena or something like that. It's a musical instrument called a harp. It has strings on it. So when you get there, they give you when you go there, they give you one set of wings. When you get a set of wings, and a spiritual body, a set of wings, and you get one harp, and you just fly around, ting, 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 ting. And the God is there. He's on a big chair. He's sitting on like a big throne or asana, and everyone just flies around, and it goes ting, 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 and he's smiling, and everyone's smiling, and it's like a nice place. There's no disease or no death, no. So. Couldn't get a very clear idea from these Christian holy books. And I would ask different people, they said, no, you'll find that out when you get there. But I want to be there now. So then we stumbled across the books of Prabhupada, Vedavyas and Shukamuni, and we discovered so much description. In the third canto of Bhagavatam, so much minute description about Vaikuntha and Vaikuntha-vasis and what they do and what their vimans are. There's families there, husbands and wives are there, everything's there, and so many descriptions. It's quite astounding. Could never imagine. Then as we go further and further, we find out, everyone get your own spiritual body ready and waiting. Everyone has a spiritual body ready and waiting. It's like you got a letter in the car and said, you got a letter in the mail and said, listen, come to the Honda, come to the, let's say, Porsche dealership, wherever that is, if there is one. But the port where they're selling Porsche cars, Porsche showroom. There's in America they say dealership, and they also have a showroom at the dealership. But anyway, you come to the Porsche showroom, and there's one shiny brand new Porsche waiting for you, and the keys are here, and you come and you drive it out. You say, wow, I got this letter, $250,000 car, it's waiting for me. Okay, let's get over there. Say, hey, look, I'm Mr. Patela. I got this letter. It says, where's my car? Oh, see that blue one over there? Oh, yeah. That's yours. Here's the keys. Oh. So it's like that. Every soul has a spiritual body waiting for them. As a gopa, as a gopi. And it's already there. You don't have to make it. You don't have to build it, you don't have to paint it, you don't have to decorate it, everything all ready to go. Like the car is ready to go. When you buy a car, you don't have to put seats in it. You have to paint it, you have to put seats in it, you have to put transmission in it, you have to put a trunk, carpet, anything, armrest. Good car, everything's there. You don't have to add anything, no options required. It's got everything, it's got all the options. Power this, power everything, and stereo and everything. When you buy a $250,000 car, you got everything. There's no, those cars don't have options. That's everything. That's the whole chop and boat. All you need to do is drive. So the spiritual body is there. You don't have to add any options. No options. It's all ready. We have to connect with that. Krishna connection. It's only a matter of stretching our consciousness. Conscious connection. We have to stretch our consciousness from here to there. We have to touch Krishna. We have to touch Krishna with our consciousness. And that's what chanting is all about. Chanting Krishna's holy name means touching Krishna. First you touch Krishna's name, then you touch Krishna's fame. Right? Nam Gun, Nam Rup Gun Lila. You touch his form in terms of his qualities and his lilas. You contact them, you touch them, and then when you realize your spiritual body, then you can actually embrace Krishna's form. Touch Krishna's form directly. Now it's an indirect form, indirectly touching by contacting. A touch generally means skin to skin or body to body, that's touching. But contacting also is there. So we touch the name and touch the qualities, touch the Lila, and finally we'll connect with the form. But the form also manifests in a sequence. Nam reveals its form, and the form and its qualities and pastimes. So they come. If Nam reveals Krishna's form, then you have qualities and pastimes. They come together. That's fast. It's slow. Going from Nam to Rup is slow. When you have Rup, then you have Guna and Lila. If you have my form, then if I'm in your house and you have my form, then I'll be doing something. Right? I'll be active. So that's Lila. And when I'm active, I'll show my qualities. Yeah. So then you have Guna and Lila. So what the big distance is touching Nam and then touching Rup. First you have to realize that Krishna's name is Krishna. It may take a while, a long distance. And then that realization is there. Then when Krishna is pleased, he'll reveal his form in the name. And some taste is there. Something that has form may have taste or may not have taste. This marble has form, but it doesn't have taste. There's no ras. With no ras, it is no taste. But Krishna's form, he's Rasaraj. Krishna's form is full of ras. So when you contact Krishna's form, then you get taste. Right? So you're chanting the holy name, and the holy name reveals Krishna's form. And when you're contacting Krishna's form and the holy name, then you're tasting. Nam ras. So the form of Krishna is full of taste. And that taste is very satisfying. And and the devotees, when they taste the form of Krishna's name, then they want to keep tasting more and more. And everything else becomes detasteful. Everything else becomes detasteful. You got that? Detasteful or detestful? Detestful. Detasteful means we don't want to test it. Detestful means we don't want to test it and we don't want to taste it. Materialistic people, materialistic activities, materialistic music, materialistic books, TV, radio. And everyone thinks we have gone crazy. And that's great. Let them think that way. Let them label us that way. Because if they think that way and they label us that way, then what will they do? They will avoid us. Because you're crazy. And if I associate with you, I may become crazy too. So watch out. So this is a blessing of Krishna, that all our friends don't call us anymore. And this is a blessing of Krishna, that our relatives are saying, you're crazy. What happened to you? And then they all withdraw from the environment. Where are all my friends? No one's calling me. Even my mother doesn't call me as she used to. Because my daughter's gone a little crazy. I'm going to call my other daughter. She's normal.